Okay, strugglers, I am furious. I am so upset over this news story. This news story is going to annoy, it's going to inflame anyone's conscience, anyone's sense of right and wrong is going to be annoyed and inflamed when you hear about this one. Okay, now this is from the SundayWorld.com news source. SundayWorld.com. Listen to this headline. This is yesterday's headline in the crime world section. SundayWorld.com. Jehovah's Witness elders allow pedophile to grill his victims. And that's dated Wednesday the 21st, May 2014. Now, did you hear that? Jehovah's Witness elders allow pedophile to grill his victims. This is the most sickening story. Now, I'm going to read this to you. I'll make a little bit of commentate, but it is grotesque. If I start throwing out 4-letter words, it's not my fault, okay? Because this guy and these elders that have allowed him to basically re-molest his victims again through this ridiculous sham judicial committee deal that they run here. Listen to this. So it says, a convicted pedophile grilled his traumatized victims about their ordeals in a series of meetings organized by Jehovah's Witnesses. Women who complained that former Jehovah's Witness elder Jonathan Rose, remember Jonathan Rose, slimeball, sick, bucket of piss, 40 years old, Jonathan Rose, had molested them as children. They relived their nightmares in front of him after he was released from jail. Now, what world are we living in? What planet are we on that this could even take place? Well, listen to this. It says, in October, the Manchester Evening News reported how Rose was jailed for 9 months for abusing 2 little girls, one aged 5, another aged 10, at the Jehovah's Witness congregation he belonged to. So these apparently are maybe other victims too, but it says the 2 victims came forward after a third woman, who Rose had previously been acquitted of molesting as a teenager, branded him a pedo on Facebook. Rose of New Moston was released early from jail in March. The 3 complainants were told, listen to this, get a load of this bullshit. The 3 complainants were told if they wanted this fellow to be barred from the church, they would have to recount their ordeal before the elders, while Rose was allowed to ask the women about the abuse he was jailed for as the 8 elders looked on. And some of them got their jollies on too, these sick, perverted freaks, to let this happen. A source who asked not to be named told reporters, before each meeting, the women were read a scripture on false witnesses and told to consider it carefully. And you know, if you've watched my judicial meeting, or if you've been an elder, if you've looked at the flock book, or pardon me, that's the shepherd book. If you've looked at these secret elder handbook, the first thing that they're instructed to do is to read scriptures implying that you're guilty. That's the first thing they do. So here, these poor women, these 3 victims, the first thing that happens is they're read scriptures implying, don't give a false witness. You better not be lying about this fine, upstanding Elder Rose. Even though he just got out of jail, don't you lie about Elder Rose. Give me a break. All right, before each meeting, the women were read a scripture on false witnesses and told to consider it carefully. They had to go through the abuse in detail and were asked if they encouraged it. Oh, did you lead him on? Did you encourage it? I mean, that is just a sick bunch of crap. One of the victims was asked, did she enjoy it? I mean, this is what makes people want to, I better not say it. This is what makes people want to get violent. This is what makes people want to extract retribution from a fake pseudo-religion that's really a business. This is a business. Welcome to the Watchtower Bible and Tract Society business. The Jehovah's Witness Publishing Company, Kingdom Hall Building Company, Kingdom Hall Rebuilding Company, whether you need it rebuilt or not. This is their business, and they have to protect their business. This is like Shell Oil. This is like some big global, monstrous, evil company that's just protecting their interests. And so they're asked, did you encourage it? Did you enjoy it? This is just making me sick to my stomach. All right, it goes on. I'm going to get back on track now. I'm going to calm down. At the third meeting, Rose was present. He questioned the women in detail about the abuse, with no one stepping in to stop bullying as would happen in court. Quote, the victims had already done this in court, which elders attended. But even though it was very distressing, they bravely went through it again. They were told that unless they did, he would not be disfellowshipped. We'll disfellowship him, even though he's been in jail and convicted for the last 9 months. That's not enough. Oh, no. We need to take these three poor people, these abuse survivors. We need to take them and put them in front of this spiritual or fake pseudo-spiritual tribunal where they're going to get to the bottom of the matter so that they can get their 2 or 3 witnesses. It's pathetic. All right. So they're told that if they don't do this, if they don't face this asshole, this disgusting creep who needs to be just rubbed out right now, tonight, no last meal, no last words. This guy needs to be gone. Okay? Did you hear that, Mr. Rose? Elder Rose? Okay, so it was understood then that Rose was finally disfellowshipped after complaints to the police and the Charity Commission. The Jehovah's Witnesses do not deny that the meetings took place, but say Rose is no longer a Jehovah's Witness or allowed to share in activities. Oh my goodness, for at least 6 months he's no longer allowed. But if Elder Rose, if he goes to all the meetings with his head down and he looks sad and he goes to the elders and he cries and he submits a letter for reinstatement within 6 months or a year, he'll just be back in, and all the brothers and sisters will just be patting him on the back and saying, it's okay. We're so glad you're back. We're so glad you're back with Jehovah, that you're right with Jehovah. All right, so the Jehovah's Witnesses do not deny it, but notice their rebuttal. The witnesses, well, what's the witnesses' side? You know, we don't want to just hear this worldly newspaper side. You know, the witnesses, there must be a good explanation. All you JW apologists out there, all you card-carrying JWs that are just shocked or that want to say, oh, well, justice was served. Here's the response. Here's the rebuttal from the witnesses. They said, no one would be forced to confront an alleged perpetrator, adding that victims were supported with spiritual shepherding, with members' welfare being of paramount concern. Okay, so we're not going to force you to confront him, but if you want him DF'd, you better damn well do our silly, ridiculous little procedure. Because if they didn't do it, he would just get backslaps and hugs and be in their congregation and watch them as they went up and down the aisle and went to the bathroom. This sick, shit-headed freak. Oh, it's just really, I'm sorry, I'm very upset over this. A spokesman's statement, so that's some Joe elder speaking. A spokesman's statement said, you ask about allowing individuals such as Mr. Rose to attend our congregation meetings. As our congregations are places of public worship, they are open to the public, including asshole shithead creeps like this guy. Nevertheless, elders will always comply with restrictions imposed by the courts or police on offenders' movements. So we'll comply, if ordered by a court, to do these things. Not out of the goodness or the sense of right and wrong that everybody has inside of them. No. If the court and the police order it, they'll comply. And then they finish it with this bon mot. When a Jehovah's Witness is accused of child abuse, local congregation elders are expected to investigate. Yeah, stake out and do whatever they do. You know, they're this little sham investigation from guys that work as janitors and bank tellers and mechanics and air conditioning and heating guys that don't know anything about how to investigate anything. If a victim wishes to address a matter, this can be done directly or in writing. No victims are forced to attend a meeting or confront an alleged perpetrator of child abuse. Of course, it may not be possible to handle a matter in the congregation until the authorities have completed their investigations or if the person is incarcerated. Jehovah's Witnesses certainly do not condone child abuse. Oh no, it's bad. It's kind of bad. And as long as you have enough witnesses, 2 or 3 witnesses, then child abuse is bad. Child abuse is abhorrent. It's abhorrent when you get caught, when you have to go and get questioned by your slimeball, sick, disgusting pedophile abuser in front of a group of elders that are getting their jollies over it. Yeah, then it's abhorrent to them. When people find out about it, then it's abhorrent. But when it's reported to the elders secretly, it's not so abhorrent that they do anything about it or say anything in the most case. This is just sickening to me. You know, you can read it in the SundayWorld.com paper. It's there. The link, the article is there. I got to go now because this story just highlights there's something seriously wrong, Jehovah's Witnesses. There's something seriously wrong with your fake sham religion. There's something seriously wrong with this leadership that is masquerading as a religion when it is a business. This is a pure business. I'm going to talk about that more in the future. I just got an unbelievable email from an insider that knows that this is a full-blown business. I'll talk about that in the future, hopefully, if I can get some permission to use some of it. Don't even get me started on that. Anyways, I thank you to you all. Continue to struggle. Continue to fight against cults and mind control. Fight against Jehovah's Witnesses, Scientology, Mormonism, the stricter ones, Seventh-day Adventism, they disfellowship too. These people, these 10 gods, need to know that they cannot run over people's human rights forever. And they better change their little business model, or there's going to be more and more and more of these until the whole public just rises up in opposition. So thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.